Every single night for years, I remember feeling symptoms of heartburn, throat pain, regurgitation, mucus production, and difficulty breathing because the night was truly a super problematic time for reflux. This is the case for so many of my clients when they come to me. The night is the worst time for reflux. So in this video, I'm going to teach you the tools to help you prevent nighttime reflux and prevent further irritation from developing during the night because of reflux. Be sure to check out my previous video on how I overcame acid reflux. If you're struggling with GERD, acid reflux, LPR for the full story, but for the sake of today's video, I want to give you actionable strategies to help you stop these nighttime reflux symptoms. So one of my clients, Sarah, she came to me and she felt okay during the day, maybe a little bit of occasional symptoms, but really the heartburn, throat pain, pain underneath the rib cage, regurgitation, nausea, all of this would start around at the time after dinner. And so what her day looked like was super busy during the day. She was a CEO and really had a stressful job and not a lot of time for her meals. And so she would quickly rush through her meals, not really thinking about what she was eating. And then dinner came, and this was her time where she was getting most of her nutrition. She was eating a pretty large dinner because she was starving from not eating enough throughout the day. And she was also always short on time. So she was eating really, really quickly and not chewing her food. She was probably working and eating at the same time, and her stress levels were high from the stressful day she had had. And then after this meal, she would start to feel really, really symptomatic. This interrupted her sleep. She was waking up with reflux symptoms. And then the next morning, she had a ton of mucus, post-nasal drip, and throat pain because of the overnight reflux. And it became this cycle of nighttime reflux, not wanting to eat in the morning, not really eating throughout the day as much as she needed to be, and then catching up at dinner. And so what we needed to do was, number one, create a mealtime schedule. This is so pivotal, creating a mealtime schedule. And this can be flexible. You know, your schedule might change day to day, but you need to get consistent nutrition throughout the day so that you can prevent this catch up in the evening. If you are someone with acid reflux, GERD, LPR, you really want to avoid having dinner being excessively large or dinner being your largest meal. This is really counterculture. I know our culture emphasizes a nice large dinner, but you actually want to try to have breakfast or lunch be your larger meal and try to have them early enough so that you can have breakfast, have lunch, an afternoon snack to take the pressure off of dinner so that before you go to bed, your stomach has time to empty. One of the reasons nighttime reflux is so prevalent and so problematic is that when we lay down, if our stomach isn't empty, we don't have gravity to keep our stomach contents in our stomach. And so this can result in the backflow of stomach contents into the esophagus, creating irritation and potential damage. And so you might be thinking, I know I need to eat more throughout the day, but I don't know how. My schedule is busy. I don't know how to plan my meals. And this is the place so many of my clients come to me in. We sometimes know what we need to do, but it's really the implementation piece that is so challenging. And so my Reflux Relief Masterclass walks you through how to plan your meals, what you should be eating for reflux prevention and relief, how to strategize a ingredient prep so that you're supported throughout the day, and then how to create your own flexible meal schedule. So definitely check that out down below. Here's the thing about the nighttime. This is often a time where more of the reflux triggers are coming into our lives. So my client Sarah, she had a big sweet tooth. She loved chocolate. And then also the stress of her day would leave her reaching for a glass of wine. These are two of the major reflux triggers, alcohol and chocolate, because they both can loosen the lower esophageal sphincter, the sphincter that connects the stomach to the esophagus. And this was a challenging habit to break in the beginning, but you need to understand that removing some of the reflux triggers when you're very symptomatic can be a temporary process that helps you eventually reintroduce them back in. So it's similar to an injury. If you have an injury and you just keep running on it all the time, if you have a knee injury and you're constantly going and running and you're never giving it time to rest and heal, it's never going to get better. Similarly with esophageal irritation or reflux, if we're constantly having the reflux triggers and we never take a break to prevent reflux, let that tissue heal, let the inflammation go down, then we won't get long-term symptom relief. So a period of elimination in the beginning is very helpful. And I do recommend thinking about what type of reflux trigger foods might be coming in for you in the evening. Are you having a really high fat meal, lots of oil, cream, butter in your meal? Are you having alcohol in the evening, chocolate? How can we find these triggers? And instead of just eliminating, how can we either replace them, swap them out for something else? For Sarah, we swapped out alcohol for an iced hibiscus tea. And then we also swapped out chocolate with some of the reflux friendly recipes from the Flora app. So we incorporated carrot cake bites and snickerdoodle cereal bites and the salted tahini cookie dough, other things she'd be excited about eating that don't involve chocolate. Eating food you love is really, really important to help you stay on track. So planning for this, incorporating that into your weekly meal planning or ingredient planning so that you are supported and you're less likely to reach for those reflux triggers. These recipes are also linked down below in my cookbook. Okay, tip number 3 is supporting yourself in your bed. Finding the best way to support yourself in terms of elevation at night. So some people choose to use a wedge support pillow. Other people choose to use a maternity pillow that keeps you on your left side. When I had reflux, I could not sleep with the wedge. I was slipping off. It was really, really hard for me. It was hurting my neck. And so the maternity pillow was actually a great fit for me because it kept me elevated, it kept me on my left side. The left side is critical. Sleeping on the left side is critical because when you're on your right side, your esophagus is pointed downwards and the likelihood that food backflows into the esophagus is higher versus on your left side, the esophagus is slightly tilted upwards. Again, at night, gravity is working against us. So we want to try to sleep on the left side and try to elevate at least a little bit. One product that might be helpful for you is called Reflux Guard. It's an under the mattress pad. Instead of using a wedge on top of your mattress, this goes underneath the mattress. So I will link it down below for you in case that is supportive. Tip number 4 is avoiding food at night. I know this can be tricky, especially if you have not yet developed your mealtime schedule, but you want to get consistent nutrition throughout the day so that you are not left hungry in the evening. This is a tricky habit to break, but leaving 3 hours before you lay down is a super, super helpful strategy. This was extremely helpful for Sarah. She would find herself snacking after dinner often because she was still hungry, and once we incorporated breakfast, lunch, and afternoon snacks, she no longer was hungry after dinner, and this nighttime snacking stopped, which really helped her prevent the morning mucus production throat symptoms. When I found out that there was a product that helped create a little gel barrier at the top of your stomach to physically prevent reflux from moving into the esophagus, my mind was blown. And so alginate therapy is something that I use with my clients very frequently, and alginate therapy is something you need to know about if you struggle with acid reflux, GERD, or LPR. Alginate therapy is a safe and effective strategy that you can use long-term to help prevent reflux. So the one that I use most frequently is called Reflux Raft. Reflux Raft is a natural alginate supplement that again creates that little gel raft to physically prevent reflux from moving into the esophagus. So this is a phenomenal thing to take before bed to help prevent that nighttime reflux. They also have one with melatonin, and melatonin is a supplement that can help tone the lower esophageal sphincter, so the sphincter that connects the stomach to the esophagus. It's also anti-inflammatory, and it's been a really helpful tool for my clients as well. So a lot of my clients that struggle with nighttime reflux, we will use both an alginate and melatonin to prevent this. However, Reflux Raft that has melatonin in it, it prevents you from having to get 2 different products. So you can try that out. The link to try Reflux Raft is also down below in my bio link. Typically, I'll recommend 2 teaspoons about 5 to 10 minutes before bed. So what are our action steps? Our game plan moving forward is creating that flexible meal schedule. You really want to make sure you're getting enough nutrition throughout the day so that dinner isn't your largest meal and you're avoiding eating 2 to 3 hours before bed. We also want to make sure that we are finding an elevation system that works for you, whether that's Reflux Guard underneath the bed or a maternity pillow trying to sleep on your left side. Notice the reflux triggers in your life and see what you can replace them with things that you'll still enjoy. Remember, this could be a temporary elimination period to help you get long-term relief. And then using alginates and melatonin, if you're looking for more support on how to reincorporate those, definitely check out my Reflux Relief Masterclass that walks you through how to do all of this. Oh, and I forgot something so important. Reducing stress is absolutely critical for acid reflux. There's a huge connection between anxiety and reflux. Anxiety can actually loosen the lower esophageal sphincter and contribute to the backflow of stomach contents into the esophagus. So you need to use evidence-based breathing techniques in order to help yourself reduce stress every single day. We're always gonna have stress in our lives. It's really about what systems we have in place to help you reduce stress. So be sure to check out this video to help you prevent stress and anxiety in your day and also prevent reflux. Be sure to subscribe down below for daily acid reflux and gut health strategies. I'm so excited to welcome you to this community. See you at the next video.